A lot of people, they jump in to fill that hole, and we don't recommend that.
No.
A lot of our philosophy is built around creating a new life.
Right.
And to create a new life, in a sense, you have to be sober.
Yes.
You have to be present. And getting into a crazy new relationship may be fun for a season. It may dull the pain a little bit, but it's not going to get you where you want to go.
The majority of people end up not staying with the person that is the first person they date after the divorce, because most people, I think they go one of two extremes of what I see is they either jump right back in,
right,
which generally will cause you to repeat the same mistakes that you made in selecting a mate the prior time, unless you've done the work to hold the mirror up and figure it out. And I know that's painful. That's what my 18-month to 2-year process was when the affairs were going on. I was working with my therapist, holding up that mirror and trying to figure out, how did I get here? What I remember thinking to myself, what was the decision I made that landed me here? Like, it just was so unbelievable to me. But, that process, you either end up diving in too soon and repeating that mistake because you haven't dealt with the issues, or you have those people that go, I am never doing this again. And you and I know several divorced people who, for years now, like years, 10, I'm talking 10, 12, I know people that long who have not gotten involved with another person because they got burned so badly. Now they have complete fear of all other people,
right.
And they're not willing to be vulnerable and be in a relationship. But you have to make sure that this is the right person. And the way that you start that is by making sure that you are fully healed. Because if you're dating this person because you feel lonely, or there's just this hole from where your ex was, or whatever, what tends to happen is we tend to get with someone similar,
or because you just want to have sex, which
too
is another motivation.
Yeah. I mean, and that can be the loss of the physical aspect of it. And so a lot of times we end up looking at people who are just like our ex because they kind of fit into that mold a little more easily.
Yeah.
And I remember one date in particular that I had, I only went on one date with this person, but after the fact, we were having a conversation a couple days later, and I guess he didn't like something I said or a question I asked or whatever, and his way of dealing with that was hanging up on me. And that is very my ex-husband-esque. I won't say my ex-husband's name, but that was totally something that I had gone through for the last 6 to 8 months with my ex-husband, of just every time he didn't like...
The man hung up on you.
Yeah, so when my husband was, I think...
I don't dare hang up on you.
Exactly, that is what I'm saying.
Unless I want to get my butt beat.
See, like that. But my ex-husband, I think he went through midlife crisis, and he was having affairs and hiding things and all that. And so frequently when he didn't like what I was saying, he would just hang up on me. Yeah. And so when this person...
Isaiah does that.
Yes, one of your sons does that. And it makes me nuts.
It does.
But when this guy did that to me, I said, okay, I'm done.
You crossed him off the list.
Yeah, I'm done. I didn't call him again.
Click, deleted.
I didn't anything. But what would happen with me and my ex-husband is he would hang up on me, and it would be like I'd be trying to call him, and I'd be trying to like, you can't hang up on me, and blah, 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 and I would assert myself and all these things. And I finally had reached a point where this guy hung up on me, and I went, okay, this isn't for me. I'm going to move on.
We're going to try the next one.
Yes. And see, thankfully I did. Or what would have happened is I would have stayed with that person, repeated patterns, and ended up with somebody who was similar to my ex, and I probably would have had a similar experience. For me, the one thing I didn't want to be was the other woman. I knew that my ex-husband had lied to people and told people he wasn't married when he was and all this different stuff. And so that was a big fear for me, is getting involved with someone who was being untruthful, who actually had a wife and family. And
I didn't tell you about my other wife.
If you get healed, then the irony of that is you're going to attract a better, healthier person into your life.
That's true. And what I say is, if you want to attract a good mate, be the person that you would want if you were that other person. If you were the perfect person for you, what would you be attracted to? And mostly that's somebody who is somewhat independent emotionally, because certainly a new mate is not going to want to take on all your foibles and your baggage and
clinginess
and need for reassurance and
yeah.
I think
we've been there, done that by this time, right? You take care of your suitcase, I'll take care of mine.
Like that. I mean, and that doesn't mean that through our marriage we've learned to be interdependent.
Right.
But you have to approach a new relationship from a position of personal strength, or you won't attract the right person. You'll attract somebody who's needy.
Right, or and attract somebody whose needs are opposite of what your needs are, so that each of you can fulfill those needs for the other one.
Yeah, and
that's what that unhealthy relationship looks like. And a lot of times in divorces, we see this in narcissistic codependent type relationships where, they're each playing their role, so to speak, in the dynamic of what's going on. And it's not healthy for either party.
A divorce is a time in life where you take stock of who you are and what you want your life to look like.
Yeah. And, enjoy the time you have alone, because when you do start dating, if you do find that person, then that becomes, then you're back in the permanent relationship thing. And I think that's where we spend more of our life, most of us, than in the singlehood stage. But, I remember my mom telling me little things like, go get new sheets for your bed and, buy pink ones because he's not there, or, or whatever you like. And you don't have to worry about if he wants it flannel or satin or whatever. Yep. You can do what you want to do. And that's what you're talking about, is just enjoy your peace and enjoy your own thing. So.
Amen.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.